And
Okay, we're live.
all right, hold on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Roll call.
Councilmember Bowman,
Here.
Councilmember Farrelletto,
Here.
Councilmember Gullumbeck,
Here.
Councilmember Nowakowski,
Here.
Council President Pridgen,
Here.
Majority Leader Rivera,
Present.
President Pro Tem Scanlon,
Present.
Councilmember Wingo,
Present.
Councilmember.
We're live.
5, 4, 3,
Somebody
2,
on
1.
volume, please. Before we start the special session, just wanted to make clear why we are having this special session. The special session is because the council chose to delay a vote on borrowing until we could hear from the control board, who had informed us in the past that they could borrow for less money. And we did get that information from them. It is not a significant amount of savings that was presented that they would, if they borrowed the money that we are about to discuss in front of us. So it was really an attempt to see if we could save the taxpayers of the city of Buffalo money by borrowing through the control board. And that is why we are here in a special session. From the top.
Item number 1, call for special session.
Motion to receive and file.
Second by Councilmember Wyatt.
Item number 2, discharge item number 20-679 from Finance.
Motion to adopt the discharge.
Second by Councilmember Scanlon.
Item number 3, deficiency note resolution for 2019-2020.
Items open.
This item is open, and I'm sorry, hold on, I'm losing. Can you take the agenda down so that I can see full screen? Thank you. This item is open, which is deficiency note, which we have discussed in the Finance Committee and also in the regular meeting. Council members, any comments, questions? Councilmember Wyatt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We recently, unfortunately, at the last minute, get another response from the control board regarding clarification of what their statement was regarding the decrease or looking at other opportunities for a lower interest rate. And so they clarified that. I mean, there wasn't much, and they did an analysis actually giving us some comparisons with other municipalities and their rates. So it's still a competitive rate. I think that, this is what we have to do. Our backs are against the wall. However, I believe going forward, we have some greater understanding of this process that I hope will help, because from what I'm hearing, we're not going to get this federal money. So I guess we can stop wishing that the candy man is going to come. We may have to do additional borrowing. I'm hoping that we can minimize that, because the impact of the additional borrowing is dollars that we have for our districts. We don't want to go into borrowing and not be able to deliver for our district different projects that we all been working on. And that seems something that we are in dire, we may be in a difficult situation that may have to be, the reality is that we're going to have to do borrowing, and then the projects that we had in our districts may not be realized next year. So those are real issues. I'm hopeful the control board would be more of a partner with us. We've been very disappointed over the last several weeks because we've been asking for their assistance in making some very, very important decisions. They said yesterday on their call that they would want to partner with us. So I hope that the disappointment that we've seen over the last couple of meetings is not something that we continue to have. We had problems getting on the call on yesterday or 2 days ago, had problems getting on the call. So, I'm just hoping that this can be a little bit more transparent, that we are doing our jobs. We do not want to see another control board. We are asking for their help. We are almost begging for their help. So we hope that we'll get that help going forward, because we are in uncharted waters, and we just can't keep borrowing in order to deal with our infrastructure issues. We have problems with revenue coming in. That's not something that we can keep wishing on the genie to come and deliver for us every single year. The control board in their resolution, which I'm asking Malcolm, council staff to file, has said to us to eliminate the 65 million from the federal government, as well as 11 million from the Seneca. So they have to come up with another plan by the 24th. This is something that we have to deal with. It's a reality. We can't keep going around thinking that the genie is going to come out the bottle. The genie is not going to come out the bottle. The genie is us making strong decisions to put our city in a better fiscal position in the years to come. It's not an easy situation, but I think, again, together we can make good decisions that will protect services for the residents, as well as the deliverables that we as elected officials have committed to our districts. I don't want to go to my district and say, oh, we're not going to be doing Bailey Avenue because of the debt that the city is in. That's not something voters want to hear or people want to hear. They want to see us deliver. So I'm hopeful, again, that we can come and have a meeting of the minds to make certain that our decisions are good decisions, sound decisions, and not put us in a deeper hole to hinder us from doing any future developments in our districts. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any other council members? And I just echo your words. I think that we
Mr. Chairman.
Councilmember Rivera.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned in the very beginning that we delayed this vote so that the control board can weigh in and inform us whether or not it would be cost effective for them to borrow versus the city borrowing. And it took a while for that to happen. And unfortunately, it right down to the wire where we had to hold a special meeting. I think going forward, especially because the thought is that we are going to borrow going into next year, that we shouldn't run into this problem, that all of these questions should be answered way in advance. So we're not holding special meetings. We should know whether it's less expensive for the city going forward. I'm talking about the new fiscal year, which we're looking to borrow to continue to operate the city. And I think it's important that the control board and the controller's office are on the same page along with the common council. We depend on the information that they provide us to make these types of decisions. And right now, down to the very end, we didn't know. I mean, I think you asked the very questions, is it cheaper? Is it less expensive to borrow, the cost of borrowing? And we had to wait to the very last minute to receive that information. In the meantime, the control board canceled 2 meetings and decisions weren't made and information wasn't provided to this common council. We can't afford that to happen. I think these are urgent times. The control board needs to treat it the same way. And certainly their information to this common council is very important. So when we're scheduled to hold meetings and they don't show up or they cancel meetings, then we can't make the decisions that we need to make.
Thank you, sir. I know that there were some council members who were concerned about that their constituents were concerned about special session as if it were a way to hide something. This council has only had a few special sessions and is really based around the budget. And at the end of the day of trying to get the best bang for the buck. But I agree with you, Councilmember Rivera, I agree with Councilmember Wyatt. I mean, these are things we've asked for. This council is just not in a position in this city financially to not wait to get that information, to not wait to find out. And we're probably going, I hope we don't have to be back here. Councilmember Wyatt said we learned for the next time. Councilmember Wyatt, I hope we don't ever have to be back here. We know that there was a pandemic. We know sales tax is down. But that's when the controller and the control board and administration and the council have to work very closely together so that when this bill, because this bill is going to come due after this vote in a few minutes, this bill is going to come due. And if we could have saved $3 million for the taxpayers, because some folks out there who complain are not taxpayers. They are not a part of the city of Buffalo. At the end of the day, we have to safeguard the money of the taxpayers who have to foot this bill in 2 years and possibly more lending that they're going to have to foot this bill. So I am not ashamed. I don't apologize for having a special